Hello, hello, good morning. Oh, I forgot to update the name of the stream today. I'm running a little late today. I was messing around with something off camera. There we go. We're going to have more Terraform template fun today. So a big thing of what I've been trying to do now is create this automated workflow or workspace setup where whenever I create a new workspace, it gives me all the tools that I need. And what I've been playing around a lot with right now is just how do I get how do I take more advantage of LM Studio and integrate it into VS Code. So I was messing around with ChatGPT and sort of talking through a possible solution. I found this plugin. I actually had saved it a while back, but I haven't really gotten into it. But this continue is probably the first one that I've seen that actually works. I was using Rue and I don't remember what the other one was, but the ones that seem to like want to interact with your file system are having problems, and I don't know if it's a code server thing or something not. So I'm trying to look at these other solutions to see what I can do to just get something local. And honestly, I think this local chat is really what I need, because the workflow that I'm trying to set up is that I have Lovable build the broad strokes of the app. I need to go in and then clean everything up by hand. And I'm sort of force feeding this over to ChatGPT, but it doesn't always work how I want it to. And I have two computers, almost three computers that are set up specifically for running local LLMs, and I just haven't wired all this stuff up. So I think the first part of this stream, what we're going to do is I'm trying to come up with a way to automate setting up continue. And in the Terraform template, what I have done, let me actually go here. I think this is the one I was modifying. Let me close this one out so I don't get... So I have it here set up for a continue, but what I need to do is come up with a way to actually set up the configuration. And what I'm trying to decide, and this is sort of what I was hashing out with ChatGPT, is do I what do I want to do here? Do I go through and try to set it up where I'm just closing out some other windows that are blocking all my view of everything. And let me get rid of this too. Okay, here we go. Do I set this up in a way that the problem that I'm trying to figure out is that there's a config file that continue uses, but it's writing it to the root.continue and then adding the config YAML. And what I'm trying to figure out is, do I just write my own models, or do I have this as a shared folder? Let me actually open up. I'm kind of curious about what is in this continue. Sessions, types. Yeah, I guess my ideal solution would be to, I think I'm just going to rewrite this config. And I don't remember what it starts out like. Can I even... I can't remember. Let me do this. I'm going to actually delete this. I'm going to delete. I'll uninstall continue. Reload the window. And now I'm going to add continue back. And I just want to see what it does to the project. So here I install continue, it's installed, I go to the file explorer, it's now created a continue folder, and in it is this YAML. So I think this is really what I want to get set up, is when a new instance of continue is created, it's going to create this config YAML. And I want to figure out how to just pass it in my model data. So, okay, I want to write the model to the config file. Does code server get set up before the startup script is run. Yes, the startup script runs. Startup runs after the container starts, but before the user interacts with the ID. So it's right. So it's the right place to write the model config for continue. Want a script that writes. You didn't answer my question. Are the plugins installed before the container is created? The startup runs. No, VS Code extensions are installed after the startup script runs, so your script can't assume continue is installed yet, but it can still write continue safely. Continue will read it when the extension loads, and it won't override it. Continue reads it on startup, but doesn't modify. All right, so I guess what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to just write the whole thing by hand. So yes, give me the code for the startup script to write out the config. All right, so let's go back to here. So okay, so we're going to install continue. Then in the startup script, let's do this. We're going to, hold on a second. Why doesn't sorry, I'm trying to think through how this is supposed to work here. Why doesn't what was I just looking at? Oh, I know why. Why doesn't continue write its config into the code server folder and instead uses root? Because it runs in the context of the default user for most dev containers, which often is root. It's not a VS Code setting, it's an app level config, so it doesn't go into VS Code. You can force it to use a different path by setting the, want to change that? Let me see. I think my biggest issue right now is what happens if I restart the container and have made changes to the config? How will I know to ignore it? And how will I know to update the IP address if I change that? So my thinking is that if the file doesn't exist, we just need to create the file. Then we need to see if the file does exist. We need to analyze to make sure that it has the default configuration. So condition override, check for the marker has the override. I recommend option 2 for flexibility. Want that version your script. Option 2. IP changed, file is missing, version tag isn't found. All right, let me do this real quick. I want to go back here and I want to reconfigure this. All right, so this isn't going to work. No chat selected, right? Close, fine, perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to open this up and we're going to add a new chat model. This chat model is going to be LM Studio. We'll use this as the provider. We'll do auto detect and we're going to connect. So now what I wanted to do is create your own assistant. Explore assistants. Do you want? Yeah, let's see what your assistants are. Next.js assistant, clean code, helps you write. Oh, this is interesting. But I bet you adding an assistant isn't going to work because it's, it wants me to sign up through here. The following system currently curated by the team. Models, rules, prompts. All right, I haven't created an account. Let me sign, don't have an account, let me sign up. Jesse Freeman. Verify that I'm human. Couldn't verify. This Cloudflare verification thing like never works for me. I'm human. Let me go. Sure. Create a password. We'll continue this. I already said I'm human. All right, it sent me an email. Let me go confirm my email. And my email is 085980. Sure. Just make me Jesse Freeman. Start as soon as no credit card required, 2,000 autocomplete requests, 50 chat requests. Use top tier models for a flat fee. That's interesting. Use your API key. Bring your own models, no extra charge, your keys, your control, unlimited usage. The model add-on allows a total of 500 chats or edit requests and 25,000 autocomplete requests each month. This is designed to cover monthly usage for most developers to avoid abuse. Front end. I wonder if you can add more credits. Well, let's do this. We're just going to use our own API key. And these are the models that we recommend best. Let me just skip this for right now. I don't care about this. Using VS Code. I have no idea what I'm doing. Docs. I just wanted to see if I added my first assistant. Assistant added. I just wanted to see if I actually logged in here, what it would do. So let me sign in. Yeah, this is what I thought was going to happen. I can't get any of these things to redirect because I'm using code server, so it doesn't open. It doesn't know how to open back up into. Yeah, so there's no way I can log into this. That's good. Also, there's like no way for me to like sign into my GitHub account, but that's fine. Okay. We're just going to avoid that for right now. What I want to do is, I'm going to call this, this one is going to be, which computer is this? This is the 3090, we'll just do this as LM Studio 3090. And I just need to get the IP address of this computer, which is on my own private network. So where's my address? Let's just do this right here. We'll paste this in, put this port, and stop showing me these messages. And let's save it. So now if I go back to the chat, hello. I just want to see if it works. How can I assist you today? Great. So I also have another computer that has LM Studio Dual 4070. And this is on a whole other computer running at my office. Let me go into that computer. What I'm going to do on this computer here, no, I shouldn't have performance issues. The free, I'm using air quotes here, internet at my office is a little slow. So I don't know how well Parsec's going to do, but okay, so LM Studio is running in the background. Let's update this. All I want to do is just make sure that it's still using, yeah, it's still using my stuff. Okay, so let me, while this is trying to figure itself out, wait, give me back my mouse. Actually, I'll just pull the IP from here. I want to address, let me copy this address. Okay. And let's relaunch this to update, and then, yes. Let me move this off to the side for a second. Then I wanted to go back into here, and I want to add this. The reason I'm doing all this is because I want this to, that's weird, that shouldn't be that IP address. That's not right. Oh, wait, is it because it's, wait, what am I doing wrong here? I thought I had hard-coded that IP address. I'm using this thing called zero tier, which is what I'm using for my own private network, but this is supposed to have a hard-coded IP address. All right, I'll come back and I'll deal with that one later. What I need to do is I need to throw in a model here. So let's throw in DeepSeek. Where's DeepSeek? I want a really large one. This one, partial GPU offload possible. Interesting, it's not giving me the, let me see, how big of these models can I run? Oh, these are all tiny models. I have two 4070, like a TI and 4070 Super and a 4070 Ti in here. So I can use a larger model. I just want to see where the cutoff is for me. So it's interesting. It's telling me that the 12 gig, this is going to take 12 gigs, but I don't know if it, I wonder if it understands that I can still, that I still have dual GPUs. Let's just install this one for right now and we'll go with from there. This is just more of a proof of concept than anything. I'm kind of curious how I can switch back and forth between the different models. So let me move this back over here. And now we'll have these two models to deal with. Now, where is this? Okay, so if I start a new chat, I should be able to toggle between, isn't there a way of toggling between local assistant? I wonder if I have to like reload this plugin. How do I reload a plugin? Add workspace disable. Let me disable it and then re-enable it. And I want to see if it picks back up these two different models, or if it's just going to read me the models from either one of them. So new assistant. Allow. No, keep that there. How do I configure this guy? No models in chat mode. I don't know what I'm doing. Let me come back here. Okay, fine. We're in this thing here. Local assistant rules, docs, prompts, tools. MCP is like the next thing that I want to signing in to continue. I don't want to sign in to continue. I can't do that actually. MCP is the next thing I need to start playing around with, and that will allow me to actually like hold on a second, add models. Why? What is going? Here we go. DeepSeek. This is DeepSeek 33B, which I believe is in this computer's, right? DeepSeek 33B. Fine. Okay, so it's finding this computer. It's finding this computer's models. So I can go through here and pick whichever ones I want. What I was hoping, though, is to be able to add another model here. But I don't know if this, hold on, let me look up, continue. How to add multiple multiple local LM models to continue in VS Code. How do you continue local LM models? Sure, medium. Local assistance would continue in Olama. I just want to see if it gives me examples of configure the continue extension. Here we go. Models, embedded model. Replace server IP with your actual server address. Remote tunnels new. Follow the authentication process. Remote development extension show. Let me see if there's anything in here that continue. Accept codebase, reforce, debug. Open settings. Show session tabs, wrap code blocks, show chat scroll bar, text to speech output, enable session titles, format markdown, font size, disable autocomplete in files, indexing is in progress, find shortcuts. Yeah, I don't know. Let me go see. Actually, let me go double check now if this is installed and up and running. Oh no, this is the problem. Wow, the internet at this office is so slow, but it's free, so I'm torn. All right, this might be part of the problem of why. Oh wait, oh no, this is just CUDA. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be very usable at all. All right, so let's close this out. Oh, no, wait, I wanted to keep that open. Just so many different computers. All right, we'll leave this for right now, and I just want to figure out if there's any other way that I can do this. I really thought that local assistant configure. Let me close this out for a second. I want to see local assistant. All right. VS Code continue config YAML for local assistant. Let's see what configure YAML docs, YAML reference, continue Hub assists are defined in YAML, blah, 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 using blocks, models, import model provider, Olama inputs. Assistant, config, overrides, block properties can be directly overridden. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I need to figure out about how this all works. Autocomplete, how to use it, model setup, context selection. Model setup. By default, edit uses the same model as chat. We recommend Claude Sonnet. Visit the Hub's Explorer for the best edit experience. We also recommend using setting up an apply model, especially trained to apply diffs to file. Place instant apply. Explore the models. All right. I think what's going to wind up happening is I need to go through and just read a lot of this. I'm just actually going to bookmark the docs, and I'll have to come back to this. I think for right now, let's just get this to where I can create a little coding assistant and make sure that this just works. All right, so back to what we were doing. What I want to do here is I want to continue to write. Actually, you know what? Let's do a little test. Oh no, I won't be able to access those workspaces. I was just debating whether I should just. I have a folder with some Terraform templates, and I was wondering if I should just see if I can get this to work is one thing, but I'll just use ChatGPT for right now. All right, continue to write smart. Look for marker hash. Okay, let's do option 2. The problem I'm running into with these Terraform templates is something I need to I started trying to work around fixing yesterday's, that I need to figure out a way to organize them better because they're stuck in Coder and I can't really share them very well. But that's a project that might actually be something I do next on this stream. I don't really have an agenda for today. All I really am trying to do is get my local dev environment to a place where I can work a little faster with Lovable and these other tools. I don't want you to do this. I want you to change. Well, I'll just manually change the name. I don't configure root. Config version. I don't need any of this stuff. Needs update equals false. Check if config exists. If needs update, then cat. Wait, what? This doesn't make sense. Why not just try to append the model if the one I want does not exist? Good call, it's cleaner. Here's a smarter version that appends the model of missing instead of overriding. So what I've noticed, I don't think I need the actual model. I just need to do auto detect. So let's do this. Here is a better example. So what I would need to do is give this a default model, a default name, and API. Give this a default name and API as coder properties. remove the variables and simplify this. I've been running into like a lot of problems with just trying to get like regex and stuff to run inside of these startup scripts because of all the escaping that needs to happen. Got it. Here's a simplified script using code model name as code parameters. I literally told it to stop using environment variables, and so what does it do? It goes in and makes environment variables. I told you not to make env variables for this. Just inline it. All right. Oh my God, it's still making these variables. Stop. This needs to go into the startup script. It's not a standalone script. I don't know. I've just sort of run out of patience with ChatGPT lately. So here we go. Make model entry provider if configured. Model entry. What happens if a model exists, but I just want to change the name or the IP in Terraform? How can it be updated? Let's see. Tell the updates like changing the IP to check for an existing entry by name, remove it if found, append the updated model config. Here's the updated line of script. So else remove existing model with the same name. This ensures the changes in the model name or IP are always reflected. Want to parameterize the IP name in Terraform next? Okay, how would I do that? I just want to see what it wants me to do, and then I'll go through and decide how I want to implement this stuff. In the interim, let's go see how our download is going. Incredibly slow, thank you. All right. Then the startup script to use them. Our model API. Will this throw an error if the folder already exists? And this config path is down here. Config path, fine. I see why it's doing this. Okay, fine. Nope, it is safe. It won't throw an error. Okay, so let's copy all this. And now in our lovable template, let's come here and installing dependencies. Then let's, echo setting up local LLM. I don't know. It was using emojis. I hate the emoji stuff, but whatever. At least I can find them easy in the... oh, does this not give me an emoji palette? Whatever. Okay, I don't care. Let's pull this in, which will now... Let's see here. Let's try to format this a little bit better. All right, I want to make sure that this is now correct. So let's do this. I'm going to give it the whole script. And actually, you know what? Let's go back and I'm going to add in, I wanted to add in these parameters. Parameter. These should be mutable, which means that we can just go back in later and change them. Actually, I don't want the GitHub repo to be changed after you set it up, because that would just break everything. So let's keep that there. All right, let's see if this is correct. Is this correct? Come on, you can do it. Think, little buddy, think. Your config looks great overall. A few fixes and improvements to make it work correctly. You wrote onfig path instead of config path. Oh, cool. Use data.codeparam value directly, not var. Well, you did that, not me. Where was I here? Let's look at this. Fine, config. It wants me to use the model name and API base. So model name and API base. It's funny because I told it I was using those parameters, but it just doesn't want to remember. All right, and now escape the $, config path. Wait, Terraform interprets $signs in here docs unless escaped. Use the slash. You missed a comma between grunt fugly .to-do tree and okay, fine. Optional. Add cmod to prevent permission issues. Okay, so after it creates this, we'll do cmod. And then we'll, whoops, I'll come back to that in a minute. I need to fix the continue, or at least need to put a comma here. And what else was it telling me it didn't like? It's funny, it like, configure path. It's telling me I need to escape these $signs. Is that true everywhere that uses it? I don't understand why it wants me to escape these $signs. Maybe it's because I just want to simplify this. I want to simplify this and inline the coder properties. and remove the use of variables. Let me see if it can give me a simpler version of this. Here's just if I know variables or parameters, fully hard-coded. It's the way I like it. Setting up the LM, make directory, configure, model, fine, model entry. I guess you didn't listen to me here, but whatever. Config path. No, I told it I don't want these. Inline everything. Right now I'm trying to reduce any point of failure, and the points of failure that I've noticed a lot when it comes to these Terraform templates is that I'm just throwing like a ton of code inside of a variable and it needs to be escaped, and it just becomes difficult to manage. What the hell are you doing? No, 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 no. Why are you hard coding the LM name and IP address? That comes from the coder params. It's gonna be one of those days, huh? You want everything inline, but the model names and API base should come from, yes, that's exactly what it should be. This was, I think we've talked about this 4 prompts ago. There we go. There we go. All right. Now this would go through and try to find the name and change it as is. I don't plan on doing much with changing this stuff, so we'll just leave this as is. Wait, why the hell did it? Don't need that. Let's just copy out this and this. And this should be setting up local LM. Fine. We run all this stuff, and this is V12. Let's do build V13. Of course, you're going to have some errors. All right. Getting an error. Here is my full template. Let me switch over to this and see how it goes. I just wanted to take a look at the user guide here and just sort of understand. Chat to understand, autocomplete to receive inline code suggestions as you type, edit to modify code without leaving your current file. Edit. All right, how does edit work? Oh, I see. Highlight the command button. You want to modify command control I to activate edit mode. Does that actually work? Looks like the user is running through. Yeah, okay, you keep doing your stupid thing here. All right, you need to declare them as data blocks instead of using standalone coder parameter blocks. For example, well, then why did you give me the wrong thing? This will resolve the error and let you start up. All right, so where did I put those blocks? There we go. And let's rerun this. Let's publish this as I think V13 was the last one. Let me just double check. Nope, V13. All right, so this now works. What I wanted to do was I want to see if, let's create a workspace, and we're just going to call this test. Well, we'll call this lovable test 13. And we need to give it this will be the IP address or the base URL. This will be the name of it. And we're going to use this, and this. All we need to do now is I just need to go to GitHub and find the path for, what was this one called? I think this was called forgot to do. And we will copy out the SSH, come here, and we need to put this here. And now create a workspace. And let's see if it actually does it. So theoretically what it's supposed to do is it's going to check out the project. It's going to set up a code server. It's going to add in all the plugins. And then it's going to configure this continue plugin with my local LLM. While that runs, let's switch back over to Parsec, and hey, look at you. You now exist. So you're B14. What I wanted to see was if I come back to here. If I come back to here, I create a new thing. Local assistant. I wanted to see if B14 would show up here, but I don't think it does. This might have to restart. I wanted to see if these two actually work like this. Select the model. Oh, I thought I already did this. Don't I have one of these already? Connect. What is going on? Why is this? I wonder if this just doesn't like being set up like this. Fail to save config. The content of the file is newer. Please compare. Oh, wait. Let me do this. Oh, this is a big mess. Okay, fine. I don't care. Let me go back to this, and okay, where are the errors we got here. Code server has been installed. Let me run this real quick and see what's going on here. Continue. Has continue been configured? File, open file. We got to go to the root. Continue. And YAML. All right, so it didn't do what I wanted it to do. Because what else is new here? Why did it give me an error? Do you see the error? Unsupported block type coder parameter seems to be tied to Terraform not accepting code parameter directly. Instead, it should be declared as data. Well, It'll not Git repository, which suggested the issue with Git and the syntax. The error bash syntax likely points to a formatting issue in the startup script, specifically around the here doc and NOT bag. The error seems to be, yes, the error occurred because you're using unsupported block types. Terraform expects these parameters as data blocks. So why did you give me, why did you give me the wrong thing? How do I fix this template? I'm kind of curious if this actually checked out any of the code. Yeah, no, it doesn't even look like it got that far. Was it even able to download that? From those logs, does it look like code server is set up and plugins installed before the startup is running? All right, let's look for this code parameter. Let's see here, startup, model API, and model name. I don't understand. It's the same exact code. Replace your code parameter model blocks with data blocks. I did that. No, I don't want, wait, what is it doing? Why is inside the if? Oh God, it's all locked up again. So annoying. All right, you told me to replace these, but it's what I already had. Why are you telling me to do the same thing like over and over again and not actually following through on it? If you're already using data blocks, then use some top level code parameters, blocks that aren't. All right, so maybe there's some other ones that I'm missing. Coder data, make public. The file I showed you. All right, come on. Founder badge hype. Hey, how's it going, 2D Heroes? Long time no speak. All right, let's see if this can figure out this stupid Terraform template for me so I can move on with my life. Caused by misaligning of the here doc markers after the echo setting up LM. The indentation is inconsistent. It's been a minute. Yeah, it has definitely been a long time. I finally have some free time in my mornings now to start streaming again. So trying to get my vibe code on. But this is dragging. All right, let's see if this actually works now. You start up best thing. Vibe coding. Ew. Yeah, no, it's not bad. I've accepted the fact that I know I have the skills to do the coding. I'm lazy, but I'm trying to get it to do stuff that I don't normally know how to do, like back-end coding, and that would be helpful if it can actually help me with it. But most of the time, it's just creating a ton of problems. What are you working on these days? Have you worked on any games lately? Come on. Release games. Yeah, I know. It's funny. When I started back up, I was debating whether I should start making a game again, or at least another game engine or something, but there's no money in it. And now I'm actually streaming it as an independent person, not attached to any company whatsoever. So I need to make money. So I'm trying to build things that actually make money. But even that seems to be a bit of a challenge. So come on, let's get this going. Your template is mostly correct, but the quote here on prevent Terraform from expanding your code or parameter variables. Remove the single quotes if you need interpolation. Otherwise, your configuration looks good. I don't know what that means. Let's give it a try. We'll just do it live. Let's call this V14. And which one was this? Coder. I think it was over here. I'll see if I can update the template and see if this will actually work. If not, I might just have to build a new workspace to test it out. I'm down like a rabbit hole here. I've been building out my own development environment that runs on my own server and getting it to set up all my tools and everything. So whenever I want to build a project, I can just pick from a template and it installs everything, gives me a whole dev environment, and then I'm off to the races. And I'm trying to take back control of all these stupid things that I pay for all these different subscriptions to chat APIs and other things. Ooh, code server is unhealthy. Nope, okay, it's good. Hey, does this actually work? What was the thing going to be? I think it's my name. And it's default password. Hey, look at that. Hey, it works. Ha! All right, now the moment of truth. Let's open up VS Code. And what I wanted to see was, are you configured? No, I don't want to install any recommended things. Select the model. Nope, you are not configured. What is going on here? Open file. Continue. YAML. Yeah, it didn't create this. Why didn't it create this? Where are my logs? Setting up the local LM. I need to add some sort of, hold on a second. Let me go back here and see what's going on here. It doesn't look like it's saving my config. Oh, you know what? Let me try it this way. Maybe I can, no. It won't, restarting it won't write this correctly either. I need to find, where the hell did my editor go? Come on. So Heroes, what are you working on these days? You still using Unity? What was I copying that stuff for? Oh, right, I was going back into here. After everything works, this, after everything builds or is set up, there is just this empty config and no server. Most Unity got a play date recently. Yeah, I got a play date when it first launched, and I was trying to figure out what to do with that thing. It's interesting. My biggest gripe with the Playdate is like it doesn't have a backlit screen, which to me, like I get they were going for like the nostalgic thing, but that just doesn't really like do it for me. And it's hard to sit down and play it. But some of the games they create with it are unique. I don't know if there's any money in that. I know it wouldn't have cost that much to actually make a backlit screen. So you wrote your own 3D engine. Yeah, that tracks. Yeah, I can't stand Unity. And I had to like give up on my game engine because I didn't have the time and I couldn't figure out. Try replacing your script's LM section with one that always writes a valid config if one isn't present or doesn't already contain our model, for example. Moving scale animation was really difficult. Yeah, no shit, huh? I'm sure you probably suffer from the same thing I do, where it's like you have it in your head like, oh, this is so easy. I just need to do this, and this part. But then the devil's in the details, and then you start getting into these like really specific things that become such a bottleneck that you can't move forward. Gave up and went back to Unity the very next week. Yeah, hold on, why does it like not echo setup local LLM? Wait. What I actually want to see, let me go back to the logs here. It installs these plugins after it sets up the LM. Check logs. Fine. My money is on the fact that I bet you it's rewriting this stupid thing. And actually, what I wanted to do too, let me see where it's writing this config file to. Root continue YAML. Let's see if, where did you go? Oh my God, where's the browser tab? There we go. I want to see about opening up, wait, let me do it here. File, open. See, here's the problem. It's an idiot. It was calling it continue YAML when it should be config. So I bet you it worked the whole damn time. Let's go back and fix this. This needs to be called config YAML. And let's make sure that wherever this is doing this is actually, let's just protect ourselves here and just make sure that we do this in the right place. So I don't want to start replacing any other config things that I use. Let's replace this. And I'm going to go back to my workspace here and let's just restart the workspace and see if it'll override it. You got into ray tracing. Well, I think you wrote like 2 voxel renderers, I think, back in the day too. Spent a little time with WebGL. We also spent way too long building tech I don't have game ideas for. Yeah, I know. I haven't built a game in a really long time. I tried doing Ludum Dare and I tried vibe coding during Ludum Dare, and it was a complete and utter mess. And I actually thought for once, I'm like, oh, maybe I can do like something bigger if I'm using AI to sort of like cover the back end stuff. Really, this all comes down to like I don't do a lot of. We should game jam sometime though. Yeah, we should. I'm. I had some. I had some ideas for games, but I haven't really sat down to build it yet. Let's see here. I want to see if this actually works now. Let's open up file, open file, root, continue, config. Yeah, it didn't do anything here. But I have a feeling that's because this file already exists. Let's do this. Let's create a new workspace and give it a try again. What was the settings, parameters? We'll copy over this project and we'll just create a new workspace with it. Yeah, the big thing I'm trying to work on is, I mean, I have a bunch of projects. I actually have a cool project that I'm trying to work on. Wait, so what are you saying here? I wanted to get into jamming again, but as a means to network and relationship build, I spent a very long time being hyper solo. Yeah, I got so far down a rabbit hole when it came to the last job that I had for like 4 years working at Akamai. Like I really wasn't able to do anything with the game, for game devs, and I was a director, so I was managing like a lot of people. So I wasn't even able to like really. I was writing code on my own at night, but not what I wanted to do. And then I was able to pull a sponsorship out for. I was able to pull a sponsorship out for Ludum Dare, but I just wasn't able to do it. Yeah, the jamming stuff is interesting. I've actually been working on a project that takes Blockly, which is like the Scratch blocks, and I've been building out a tool that lets to teach kids how to do AI prompting with visual blocks. I'm going to call this lovable test. Did I publish this to 14? All right, test 14. And let's put this GitHub repo in here and let it set up my whole dev environment. There's part of me that has been building out this dev environment thing because I thought I'd get back into building game engines, and I wanted to have something that was a little bit more advanced, or at least would build out a dev environment for people. But I don't know. This is my problem. Maybe you suffer from it too. I just like building tools and engines. I don't really. I built a few okay games, but I'm not really great at that. So I think the real key is I think I need to partner with somebody who makes good games. Why is this unhealthy? All right, there we go. It just finished building. I'm going to open this anyways because I know it's healthy. It's just taking its sweet time to file. Open file. I need to go to the root. Continue. All right, what's going on here? Why am I not? Let's stop this. Let me come back here. I don't think I think the problem is I didn't build this. That's why I'm confused. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? All right, this is going to be V15. We'll publish this. It's easy to fall in the tool building mentality. Just end up with something you deprecate by the time you need it. Yeah, I've always loved building game engines and tools and stuff. It's really more where my head's at, which is why I'm down this rabbit hole creating like my perfect development environment that I can own for some reason. Lovable test. What are we on? 15 now? And let me paste this in. So the other thing I was working on before I got into a car, I got in a bad car accident in August of 23 and had like a post-concussion for almost a year, which really screwed me up. That's sort of why I had to stop doing my game engine. But I was working on a basic interpreter because I really wanted to build a. I still have this idea that I wanted to take a lot of the work that I'd done for Pixel Vision 8 and turn it into a notebook for sketching out game ideas, and just do. I kind of thought it'd be interesting just to have like, whenever you have like a little game idea, you can open up a notebook, sketch it out in like BASIC or something, even though I know not a lot of people use BASIC, but I wanted it to be a very simple language. And then you just build these little one-off sort of games for, like, it's almost like a sketchbook for games or game like concepts. And I'm doing a lot of different things that are sort of building up towards that. Even this stuff that I'm working on right now is building towards that. Let's see, file, open. So one of these things will actually come together. Root, continue, and config. Please tell me I misspelled YAML. Ugh. I am not paying attention to what I'm doing today. Yep, okay. Let's try this one more time, but let's actually spell YAML correctly. Right, it's YAML. Yes, YAML. All right, we'll build this. We'll call this V16. 4-letter extensions, yeah. V15. So this is V16 now. Yeah. So I don't know. I sort of had this idea of like building something out of like a plugin that goes into Visual Studio Code and can become its own dev environment for making games too. I don't know what I'm doing. I have a bunch of things I'm doing, and the only actual work I have right now is what is this, April? Yeah, next month I have to go out to Cali to do a course for LinkedIn on I'm going to do a whole course on C# design patterns, like a really big course. I think I'm going to have to be out there for like 2 weeks. It's supposed to be like a 6 or 7 hour course I have to develop. So pretty soon I have to start switching gears to that. This is going to be Lovable Test 16. And no, I needed to get this GitHub repo from here. And let's create the workspace. Heroes, where are you living these days? You still in Seattle, right? Is that where you were? Also, you've been having any luck picking up the stream? I have to figure out. I don't think the stuff I'm doing right now is very interesting for people to watch, but I have to figure out how to get something more interesting to stream about. I'm hoping that in the next week or so I can finish up this tooling stuff that I'm building and these dev environments so that I can actually get back to building stuff. But everything is slow going these days. All right. Come on, finish coding or setting up continue and all this other stuff. All right, I think I have a good feeling this is going to be the one. That's between Georgia and Louisiana. Ugh, sorry. I'm definitely not a fan of Louisiana. Georgia's all right. I guess it depends where you are. Open file, root, continue, YAML. All right. It looks like it wrote this correctly. Let's now go to continue. And bingo, it works. All right, that's cool. So now whenever I create a new development environment, or at least one of these lovable ones, and I'll move this over to my other stuff. Whenever I create one of these dev environments, it now will automatically give me a fully configured, locally running code assistant. The issue I have is with ironically enough, LinkedIn and Microsoft give me a free license for Copilot, but I can't configure it since I'm not actually using the real version of Visual Studio. So I'm sort of constrained to this sort of hacky thing that I'm putting together. But my thought was that, how do I move this panel? Activity bar position. Move primary sidebar right. No, I don't want to do that. Undo, undo, undo. Oh, what did I just do? Move this left. I wonder, I try to remember how I can get activity bar position. Move to secondary bar position. There we go. Bingo. That's what I wanted. Let's see. So, how can I assist you today? What I'd like to do is I want to pass it a file. Actually, because I don't ever do anything the easy way. Let's just pass it source. Can you give me a high level summary of what the code in this app does? This is probably going to be too much for it. I am running this off of a 3090 and I've maxed out the tokens. So the provider code is part of a larger application where there are some hooks and utilities. Use Toast. Hey, holy shit, it's actually working. It's got the MariaDB connections, and then it's seeing the Vite and variables. From a high level, this application seems to be handling database operations, such as create operations tasks. Right. Please note that without more context or specific detail. Yeah, cool. All right. I want you to now, using this folder, source, can you find me the classes that are using local DB so I can remove them? And I think when I was poking around the settings here, index is complete. So I guess it has a, wait, what happened to my chat? Oh, cool, it loses its context. That's a brilliant feature. Whoops. Folder, source, can you find me the code files that are using local storage so I can remove them? All right, let's see what it does here. Yeah, all my family, with the exception of my parents, are all in New York. So I don't really plan on leaving New York anytime soon. All right, the provider code samples part of a larger application. Oh, this is important, right? However, given the provided code snippets, it doesn't appear that storage utilities is being used directly. You might want to check. If you don't see any usage for local storage or IndexedDB in your code, then it would be safe to remove. All right. So what about this whole file? Did you just ignore this file? Let's see here. I want to open this in the Reveal and Explore Reveal. The path. What about this file? How can I tell if it's being used? Is being used application, you'll need to look at other files. I get that part. I want you to do it. This file is not being, okay, fine. Let me do something else here. I want to actually see implemented DB storage. I think, what was it, Command Control I or something? No, that's not what I want. I thought that there was something that I can do now for code complete, continue. Where's the docs on how to use this thing? Command or Control I. Oh, I lost my window. Command I. Let's see if we can do this. Create, discover and remix Explorer systems. So create your own assistant from scratch. I don't want an assistant. I want you to read this and tell me what's in it. Oh, cool. What's giving me all these errors? Cannot redeclare block. Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing? Oh, look at that. It's trying to... I mean, it just screwed everything up, but it added comments to it. Interesting. Let me delete this and try this again. So we do Command I. What is it going to give me? Agent not supported yet. I know I need to install an agent. Can you add comments to this block of code? All right. So I didn't realize it's running in the background, but only because it should give me like a status, but I guess it's just pinging my, it's hitting my 3090 here. So tell me how many tokens per second. 2.5 milliseconds per token. All right, so it's doing 394 tokens a second. I don't know what the difference between these two are. But now if I come back into, still a comment, my God. Yeah. I don't understand why LMAO was blocked by my chatbot, but all right. Where was the editor? All right, so now I can accept these changes. Perfect. All right, this is exactly what I needed it to do. The only other thing I want to figure out, and I don't know where the settings are, is I want it to, when this opens up, I want it to automatically show up in this you were being super rude. Well, I've now approved LMAO. So, all right. Let me ask this one more thing, and then I'm going to move on with my life. This all works. Now, how can I write to the code server settings to open up continue on the right side of the editor? I think this is like the last thing that I really want to figure out, because then at least when the editor opens up, it'll give me the what the hell am I thinking about? I'm trying to think of like 10 different things I want to be doing. This way it'll at least give me, workbench, sidebar location, right? Okay, so the user wants to adjust workbench. Since continue is an extension, there might be specific settings for it. I should check for continue, not continue, or similar. Can you update your code server settings, which is essentially VS Code settings, by adding the sidebar location? Wait, where can I find the settings for code server so we can see what my layout looks like? So Heroes, what are you when are you going to be streaming? Have you tried to get a set schedule going? Local shared code server users. If you're setting in Terraform, it's merged into that file. So I need to figure out now where these settings are. I actually don't think it knows where the hell it's talking about. It's saying in .local share, but I think it's in user share. I thought there was a code server thing here. Maybe it's in root local share code server. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Coder.json heartbeat extensions user settings.json extensions local machine user settings. Here we go. Workbench startup editor none. Cool. It's not there. My first stream went back was like 11 p.m. last night. Yeah, no, that's not a great schedule. Yeah, I'm trying to do 9 a.m., 9 to 12 each morning Eastern. Where the properties for the continue sidebar. Oh, you know what? There's another way I can do this. Why am I doing this like the wrong way? Let's see. There is a settings. Open. Let's see if we can open the workspace settings. Not there. Settings. Open the user settings. Not there. Settings. Third time's a charm. All right. Do you see the right side settings in here? This is like the best thing. Oh, look at this. See, this is why I'm trying to get out of using ChatGPT, because it just download the Chrome extension, switch your default. Please, you can barely even do a prompt. So why am I going to install your search engine? Something went wrong. Yes, that is correct. Oh my God. I'm just going to keep spamming the shit out of it until it maybe works. This should be too long. Oh, that's the problem. This is my problem, isn't it? How do we search for... All right, we have this open. Let's look for continue. Continue default decoders, continue. Continue working on Workbench cloud changes. I'm assuming it's Workbench continue. Editor. there anything? There's 8 versions of this. Where? I wonder what I can do to... Here, let's do this. I want to... Can I just download this directly from here? No. All right. Screw you. What I can do, though, is I have a... I downloaded a log file. Let me just open up... I'm just going to throw... Yeah, close that out. Let's try it this way. It doesn't like it when you paste it in, but sometimes I can trick it by giving it, I think it's this one. 8K 500. It's got to be this one. Can you find the setting for me? Whoops, come on. Finish uploading this file. Have you been doing art at least? Any pixel art stuff? If it wasn't clear, I was directing that to Heroes. It looks like they've updated the main logs file, which may likely contains resemble settings. Configuration layout is also settings under specific layout related options. Workbench position. Your layout settings come to your code for open position, set to right. Yeah, that's not what I'm looking for, but sure. It is right or left, a currently active one. Select first or last. Are you doing, you're doing pixel art or just regular stuff? Anything you've been posting online? I have so much of your stuff that I had always meant to like clean up and like do something with, and I just couldn't get my shit together. Yeah, I don't know where you would define editor define. Like, I don't know where this is actually defined to be on the right. Maybe, oh God, where to find plugin panel location in settings. How to find the plugin settings in WordPress. How to find, oh, sorry, I should have done this. Find VS Code plugins. I'm posting on X and Blue Sky. Do we follow each other on Blue Sky? I've been trying to, well, there are all my private messages. Cool. I like when it defaults to that. What are you, a 2D? Oh, if I could actually spell correctly. Why don't I not follow you? There we go. Starting soon. Yeah. Oh, oh my God. What are you modeling? What have you been modeling this in? It looks like just in what, oh, what is it called? Blender? I have, I was modeling a whole bunch of different game consoles. I don't even know where I put the images for them. I wonder if it's on my Twitter account still. In Blender. I was using one of those, so much shit. And I hardly even use this anymore, so Where did I put the low poly? I was modeling all of my game consoles. I'm trying. I think it was Cube was the thing I was using. No, this has got to be too far back. Yeah, I don't know where I posted that. I thought he posted that stuff. Oh well, I guess not. All right, well, that was a fun stroll down memory lane. Oh yeah, this is too far back. Man, it's so like I don't know about you, but like Blockbench, yeah, that's what it is. X is like so dead for me. Like I don't like nobody like responds to anything I post on here. But yeah, I have to go find. Hey, look, you followed me back. That's so nice. I have to go figure out where I have. I'm gonna get so. Let me actually install Blockbench real quick because I do have. I think Blockbench is what I was using. Let me go see on my server where I put all this stuff. Workspace. So you've given me like a nice distraction, and honestly, I should probably just get back into some 3D modeling stuff because I bet you people would like that more. Design, 3D, retro, consoles. Right? Is BB model? That's those are my textures. I think Blockbench. I think that was what it is. Let me download that. I'm not on my Mac. I'm on my Windows right now. I never was really good at 3D stuff. Ironically, like when I was a kid and I was doing all kinds of like modding and stuff like that for games, like for Marathon and Doom, I loved 2D, so I always thought that wait, why did you just go full screen on me here? I always thought I'd be doing 2D games, but then I don't know. I don't think this is Blockbench. Open model. Where's my workspace? Jesse, design, 3D, retro, consoles. Maybe it is. There we go. Yeah, I should get back into this. I was having a lot of fun. Oh no, what's the? Oh, there we go. It's the right one. I was having a lot of fun doing all this stuff, and then I realized I'd screwed up my Super Famicom, and I don't know how I got this extra back to it. And then for some weird reason, I just sort of gave up. But now looking back at it, makes me want to go back and do this again. Yeah, it's actually the low poly stuff I like a lot. I mean, I tried to put, even though it's like low poly, I was trying to put. I'm so bad at like navigating this. Enough detail into here where you could sort of see like even there's like just enough insert in there that you could see the cartridge correctly. Also, this like. Doing this controller was such a pain in the butt. It still looks like I have some issues with it. Getting this to be simplified and simplifying all this geometry is not easy. Thank you. Never gave me Famicom. Or long boy. Yes. I was just looking at. I'm sure it's an easy fix to do it. I wasn't version controlling this stuff. Wait, come on, So once I started screwing up, yeah. See, I gotta go remember all the tools. It's been a long time since I used this. But anyways, this was my 3D low poly stuff, and now I think I definitely want to get back into doing it. anyways, all right, let me quit this out. Maybe I'll do a stream, discard all, and I will start playing around with that more. Bet you more people would actually watch that than me sit here and fight with Terraform. So I can't remember. Yeah, I don't know how to actually find. All right, whatever. I don't think it really matters. I mean, I can, whenever I open up the project, I could just have this move over to the right. At some point, I'll go through and get this configured the way that I want. All right, so I think now that I got that all up and running, I wanted to go back and look at this project. I was working on this little idea of mine called Forgot to Do. And the idea behind it was that every time, each day you sort of just write down your tasks. But once you get to the next day, it if you haven't completed the task before, you can't go back to it anymore. As sort of a punishment and a history of what you've done and what you've done right and wrong. But where I left off on this, and let me see if I can come back into my original project, and where's Lovable, or Forgot to Do front end. I'll update the template and see if this actually works. Just realized I haven't drank water at all since I woke up, and I've been up since 5 a.m. I'm feeling a little parched. Yeah, heroes, we should chat. Message me on Blue Sky, or I'll message you. We should get on a call. It's been a while. It'd be interesting to do like a little game jam. What I really wanted to do, and I haven't figured out how to like rebrand it or build it from scratch, is that I really wanted to revive one game a month. And there have been several times that I asked Krister if I even offered like just to buy it from him. And I was going to use my own money. Like I wanted to run it, and the domain name is so good, the one game a month. I haven't been able to figure out a better one, but I would love to create something where people can go back to making little like a monthly hackathon stuff. That was so much fun. Did this... Interesting, it didn't install that plugin. You think of New Year's resolution. Yeah, well, we're a little far into the year now for you to be still thinking about New Year's resolutions. How do I get rid of this? Do I have this in my template? I don't remember where am I sharing this stupid stuff from? This is my workspace, modules, git config, SSH, my regular git config. I don't know where it's getting that recommended stuff. The year starts when I say it starts. Yeah. I don't think that's how it works, but if you want it to work like that, then that's totally up to you. All right, let me go do this. I'm going to go back to this workspace. I want to clean up all these stupid projects, and I'll just redo these things. Let's stop, delete. I can actually shut down Parsec because I'm not using it right now. I'll have to install a whole bunch of models onto this computer. So what am I looking to do here? Let's go back to my workspaces. Let me delete this one. And then on this workspace, oh yeah, there was one other thing I wanted to do here. And I think I was talking to ChatGPT about it earlier, was that I wanted to, wait, no, this is just setting up this guy. Where, Where is my chat from? Yeah, create coder password error debug. No. SSH. Ah, here we go. This is what I was looking at. I wanted to just change the way that the password stuff works so that it dynamically created a new password. Oh, your Tamagotchi this? Here, hold on, go back. That didn't work. Did I spell your name wrong again? Oh, this thing. Oh, that's cool. I like that one a lot. I don't know why it's stuttering. The depth that you have in there for this shadow is great. That's such a cool attention to detail. Is it what do you have like you're just doing a layer behind it, right? And then a layer on top of it. The layer behind it is just the shadow, but you're having the background in it, and the layer on top is the foreground. That's brilliant. I'm trying to see how you. Okay, I see what you did there. Yeah, maybe this afternoon I'll go back to doing um, doing some design stuff. I have my cousins coming over for dinner tonight, so I don't know. I have to like actually clean this place before they come over. And that's the end of your feed 7 days ago. Oh, no wonder we didn't follow each other. You weren't even. It doesn't look like you were on here, or at least you weren't posting. Yeah, these are great. I love this effect. This is such a brilliant effect. I might like borrow that, as in like steal. I do like your modeled room. I was coming up with all kinds of different. I was trying to do my own sort of like screens and everything for Twitch and for streaming, and I did. I bought a template which I hate, and I got to go and clean up. And I got all these different states that I can do, but I need to really go back in and clean it up. I also wanted to go through, and I haven't done it, but I need to figure out a good way to play some music in the background. I'm listening to music, but I think there's times where I'm just like really quiet, because when I'm trying to concentrate, I forget to talk. And it probably would help make this channel more entertaining if there was some music or something going on in the background. Let's delete this. Get my room overlay on Ko-Fi. What is Ko-Fi? Oh, Ko-Fi. Oh, I think I've seen Ko-Fi, right? Is this like Oh yeah. I should actually bookmark this. I need to do one of these. Do I even have an account already? Negative Ghost Rider. All right, I'll sign up for that later. I guess it's like buy me. That's like buy me the coffee thing. Oh, I see. $3, dude. You undersell yourself. I think I paid $25 for that thing, and I hate it. What I wanted to do, my goal with the streaming stuff, with these overlays, is I wanted there to always be some sort of motion. I did find this like these like PlayStation shapes in the background that I thought were really good, and it adds motion in the background. But he can give you $25. Well, maybe I should just commission you to do custom ones for me. You take in commissions? Was there a thing in there that said commissions? Low poly. Look at that. Look at those prices creeping up. Pixel. Have you? I feel like you've done this stuff. Did you do this stuff in the past? Or is this an old one or is this a new one you set up? This workspace has been deleted. I need to go back to my file system. I forgot how distracting it is when I'm actually talking to people. For the most part, nobody's been paying attention to anything I've been doing. Delete all these things. Why do I not have admin to delete this? Shoot, whatever. All right, let me go PowerShell. SSH at NAS at mini nas.local. The duder and the $10 commission. No, I didn't see that. You're distracting me, but in a good way. It's not a bad thing. I wanted to. I'm gonna reach out to you offline. I want to print working directory ls cd. I need to go into coder workspace ls clear. Now let me do ls, and I want to rm rf all the lovable stuff. Let's do test 3 or 13, test 14, test 15, test 16. This is the one problem I have, and I haven't been able to figure it out yet. Is that whenever I delete a project, it doesn't delete the files. But I also don't want it to do that because I might want to delete projects and still come back to the stuff. Clear ls. Node. Were there any other lovable ones in here? Oh, it was the forgot to do. Front end. Cool. I also spelled my own project name wrong. Clear. Okay. So now I've deleted all that stuff. Let me come back into here and I'm going to create a new, we'll go back to exactly where I was 3 hours ago. I'm going to copy this and where's my workspace? Let me create a new workspace and we'll do a lovable template. Whoops, I didn't want to put that there. Let's make this public. Oh, I didn't add the, that's what I wanted to do. See, I got totally distracted. I wanted to add in source. This, I wanted to add in this stuff, which will generate out a random password. So I have some security on my server, so I can do some password protected stuff. And I want to see if this will actually work here. I can get rid of this coder password, this. And then this way, every time I create a new workspace, even if you guys see the passwords, I don't care because it'll just reset itself when the workspace resets. Let's try this out, and we're going to call this V17. V17. Oh, yeah, V17. And now let's create a new workspace. And now we'll come back here. We'll copy this. And where am I? The irony is that it's not going to create, it doesn't create a password in this part. Hold on a second. Is there, wait, this doesn't create, let me get rid of all my chats. This doesn't create a password when starting up a new new workspace in the coder wizard. Is there another way to do this? I noticed this before when I'm trying to set up these templates, these Terraform templates. Coder isn't exposing the variables correctly. Yes, Terraform doesn't evaluate the conditions like that inside the coder parameter. Instead, do this. Remove the default. Generate the password always. This use that as the default in the parameter. All right. Templates. Password. Whoops. What's the difference between what it had before and coder password? Get rid of this. Let's see if like this. I don't know if it has to be tied to the password. Hey heroes, do you remember how do you do a raid? I can't remember how you send people who are watching you over to another channel. It's been so long since I've used it. Yeah, this will generate a random password. Great. You're so confident. I guarantee you this doesn't work. V17, V18, V18. All right, let's try this again. And look, it did not create a password. So you are wrong again. Just give me raid and channel name, right? Thank you. Just give me a default variable for the initial setup, and then when I restart, it should be random. Sure, whatever. I don't know if I like this idea. I just really wanted to have the problem I have is that while I'm doing these streams, it doesn't hide the password, and there's no way to tell Coder to do this, which is really weird. I actually want to go into the Coder thing and do into their source code and do a pull request to see if I can get them to fix it. But so my goal was to just create random passwords. Then in your startup script, add this after the first time check. Why would I do that? I don't like the way that it's doing this at all. And I feel like before it had a better approach to it. Yeah, this is what I wanted. Why doesn't it do default password? Let me see if I can do it this way. Random password. All right, let's see. Let's try this one more time. You can already smell lunch is being prepared, and I am starving. Which I have no idea why, because I ate breakfast. Source. So I'll do this for another 40-ish minutes, maybe a little less, and then I'll go back to doing my own private stuff, and I don't think tomorrow I'll be streaming, but it'll be late. I don't know what time I'll be able to stream. I got some doctor's appointments to deal with in the morning. Coder password, random. All right, change me. So if coder password equals blank, this is always going to be wrong. I wonder how I can force. I went back to this and modified it. How can I force it to always create a new password? You can't use conditionals like that in the data parameter. Terraform won't evaluate random password. Well, you gave the code to me, idiot. To always set a new password in the workspace to it. then remove code or password. It's unused now. This forces a fresh random password. Is there a way to set up an initial value for the first run? Yes, but not directly in the code parameter. You can simulate it by using a variable that is initial value. Switch to random password after the first initial setup. This uses change me on first run and switches to a random one on restart. What is this file? Init done. I don't think that really exists. Does that exist? Oh, this project's dead. Oh my god. Just go to coder. Jeez. Start this back up. Oh, you know what? I know how I want to do it. Can we make a toggle to create a random password each time, each startup, and make it default to off with a default value of change me. Let's see if we can do it this way. Yeah, yup. Add this toggle, then keep this in the startup script. Wait, I want to avoid the startup script code and just do this in Terraform. Terraform can conditionally set a code parameter using runtime logic but here's a clean workaround. Yeah, when you say clean workaround, I don't know about that. This gives you a toggle behavior all within Terraform, clean and no startup script logic needed. Let's see what you do. Initial password, fine. Random password, fine. Code parameter, rotate password. Toggle to create a new password. This is effective. Here we go. Okay, I think this might be the ticket. All right, let's give this a try. Build v19. The repo is this, and I was here. Let's create a new workspace. We're going to pass this here. Rotate password each startup. Let's set this to true. And let's call this forgot to do front end. And create a workspace and see what happens. Theoretically, what it should do is it should set that password and put this into the settings. So it should default to change me. Let's go back to the workspace and see what it's actually doing here. All right. I don't know if it's done running everything yet. Maybe it is. Yeah, okay. So it's my name and change me. Okay, so it probably created the random password, and now I don't know what that password is because it didn't write it back to settings. Make public, change me. Let's restart the workspace and see if that actually makes it do what I want. Restart. Because if it doesn't show me the password, then this is pointless. I don't know what to do. Error in getting the build logs, fine. I don't know how to fix that. let's see, change version. Oops, I don't want to do that. I want to settings, parameters. I think it's doing it, but the problem is that it's not. It is not showing me what that password is. So, is there a way to change the value of change me or whatever the password is on startup when the toggle is created? I need to see the password in Coder's workspace settings. Bet you is missing something here. No, it's only evaluated once the company, even if the toggle is flipped later, the value shown in the UI won't update. To force a new value in the UI on each startup, you need to mark Coder password as non-mutable and rely on, but that removes the ability to edit it in the UI. Best compromise, show both values. Keep Coder password mutable with change me default. Add a new Coder parameter read-only string that always shows the random password result. Sure. Yeah, okay. Sure, let's give this a try, just so I can at least see what's going on under the hood here. Crap, now I gotta go back in SSH and to delete that one. Let's go here, edit, and I want to now, where was the random password? Rotate password. I think I could do this. Wait. Okay. Excuse me. There we go. Random password. Coder parameter. Generate password. Random. Wait, don't I need this local thing? That didn't do it either. Random password. All right, so we have the coder password, which is change me, use if random password is false, use random password, toggle generate the new random password, generated password, show that, local effects, and then coder password we don't need anymore. Let's build this out. I should actually just be able to update that other project. Oh, did not like you doing that. What happened? Oh, is it bedtime yet? Ugh. Got like no sleep last night. The error is because you wrote, but in locals you're having the name is mismatched. Your actual declaration is this, fix both locals. All right. And let's build. Can't remember if I was on 18. I think I was on 18. Publish v18. Nope, we're on 19. All right, 20. And let me go back to my workspaces. Where's my front end? Let's update this. This template has a new parameter that must be configured to complete it. Generate password, immutable. Update. Huh. I don't know if this is actually going to work. Settings. Parameters. See, look, it made it as I think because it's immutable, that is part of the problem. Template. Lovable. I think it needs to be generated password. True. Build. Let's see if this fixes the problem. Publish v21. And I can go back to, let me just go here, move these guys together. And we'll update this and see if this works. I don't think this is going to work right. Oh well. I'm sort of losing steam anyways on this stuff. There's other stuff I wanted to be coding and working on today, and I always get bogged down in these little ideas of mine. Wait, I don't want to, I'm not using the random password. Terminal. Change me. There we go. All right, so let's restart this. Wait, let me go into settings, parameters, and make this true. Submit and restart. And let's see if it actually will set that as a new value. Oh yeah, you get some more art up there? Why doesn't it want to... Why isn't it just going back? Oh my god, what did I just do here? I don't even know what the hell that is. Blue sky. I just don't feel like having it keep going to my... I gotta fix that. This is why I don't normally stream on this on my own personal one, but let me just delete all these different things. Blue sky. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I love that art. That's great. Thanks for sending me the link. Yeah, that one is good. What are you going to do? What are you going to use the handle to do? LM Studio default. Use random password. Ah, crud, it's not, here, wait, I need to copy this to a new tab. Where's incognito? Let's see, Jesse. So it's still not, oh, did I not update this? That's why. Settings, parameters. Yeah, I guess my idea of having a random password is just not going to work. Writing SDK for parity between Unity and Playdate so I can build for Playdate and, oops, stop, get out of this. Whoa, how are you instantly having working Unity as well as Steam and web builds? What was it? It's C and Lua, right? I think coming from a person who's built game engines like that, I think you're just gonna be spinning your wheels. I don't even know what the real even though Playdate is kind of cool, I don't really understand that there's how people buy things or whether, like, I don't even know if there's any way to make money on that. Why does this still use change me? If it's set for the random password. Yeah, I guess Terraform just doesn't work the way that I'm expecting it to, which is fine. I'm just going to get rid of all this crap because this is... All right. Yeah, we get rid of the random password stuff. That didn't work. Dismiss that. And is there anything else I wanted to make changes to in this? And a few popular games posted about. I'd like to see for myself what kind of numbers come up. I can't imagine it's high. I mean, yeah, I mean, I haven't even used my Playdate in forever. All right, I think I have everything I need here. I'm just going to make this V22 and move on with my life. Publish V22, although I should have gone back. And then here, we'll just go to General Workspace. Let's update this workspace. It'll remove that property. Preview, settings. All right, we were just at the regular password, fine. And I have password protection, make public false. All right, so now if I go here to incognito, I put in this URL, Jesse. All right, whatever, close enough. I think the real thing now is to go through and figure out why this was not working correctly. Well, not this, but why this front end. Let's open up code server. I want to just copy this into here. All right, I am back to where I started. Let me get rid of this. Shit, I don't want this here. Delete, delete, delete permanently. And then that'll just fix it the next time I do a commit. Okay, so what I wanted to figure out was I had the project up and running now. It's going to be coder forgot to do front end. Now you can clearly see where I'm copying this from. All right, so this is working. Database says connected. So I want to see where it actually connects to this database. And it's weird, it's not installing. Why didn't it install continue? View, switch to pre-release version. Why can't I see view? Toggle continue. There we go. Now that's interesting that it stayed here because I haven't done, and I don't understand also why it's not showing up in my side panel anymore. Maybe because I moved it over there. All right, something is being shared across my dev environments, and I got to look into that later. But all right, long story short is let's look for this, and what I want to do is, can you see my open? Whoa, that's really weird. I thought I deleted this entire project and started over again, but all of my past stuff, can you see my open file? I currently don't have the capability to view or interact with physical files directly. I'm designed to process information. Sure. All right, how do I clear? Let's create a new chat. What I want to do is, okay, I want to remove the local storage from this. Can you show me what to modify? All right. All right, so await test connection, fine. Recheck DB connection is back online. Handle state of offline. Set DB connected. Show. Did this like delete the whole database? Does this delete all the database stuff? What the hell did it do here? Use state. Check DB connection. Wait, test connection. Database connection error check. Fine. You're back online. Your task will be saved to your browser. Windows event offline. What is this handle for offline? Set is offline true. Use state navigator online is set offline. No, I'm rejecting your changes. They're not great. All right, I just got to go through and dig through this. Anyways, my whole issue is that I didn't like the way that it was. I tried to take a project and connect it to my database and a pre-existing one, and it's just a bit of a mess. And I don't know if I really want to restart it, but honestly, this program is so easy that I probably could just rebuild it and have it use my database to begin with. Where was I? Yeah, my brain is just shutting down. I need to go have some lunch, and then I'll have a little bit more focus. What I wanted to see was, this was my, wait, what is this app? Directives, Node app. Okay, I didn't know what that is. This is my database. Let me open up the code server. Did I write down the notes on how to use this thing here? Okay, all right, perfect. Vibe coding on an empty stomach sounds worse than actual coding. I don't know. It's the biggest problem with the vibe coding stuff. I'm trying to decide like what's the difference between vibe coding and like Google coding, because most of the time I just use Google anyways, because I don't know half of this stuff. I mean, I don't know how you can even retain all this knowledge. And I don't mind talking to the AI. It actually is really good for like bouncing off ideas and stuff, but it definitely has like its moments where it's a little wonky. Like it also makes me like it's overconfident, and yeah. I'm gonna get some food. Food won't be ready until 12. I smell it. It's being cooked right now, but I'm not in control of lunch today. Let's do this real quick. Let me create a new project, and let's see if we can just get it to connect to this database. I think you're right. I think I'm going to get some food. All right, I'm going to sign off, and then I will be back another day. I don't know when. Maybe I'll be back on. Geez, I think on Friday I'm going to be out of my office. I'll probably be back later next week. That sucks. Well, I'll figure something out. I think the key, I guess you have to do this consistently, but I'll try to find some random times. Heroes, I'll be in touch with you. And are you going to go stream now? Do you want me to send you a raid? I don't even know who else is actually watching the stream. But me ending soon. When am I going to stream next? I don't know. We'll do it Thursday at 1 p.m. No, not yet. I need to eat before streaming too. Yeah, streaming before eating is probably eating before streaming is probably the better idea. All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching. I appreciate it. Glad I did this because it's been a while, heroes. So yeah, I will be back tomorrow in the afternoonish. Peace. I'm out.